Alright, so good day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you know when I'm uploading to the channel. You guys, man, I know y'all like, man, where Peter be at? Listen, however, my voice was gone. It was gone for a while, okay? And so, with my voice being gone, but nothing else was happening. It was like I didn't have any sore throat. I didn't have any, any of the stuff that comes along with your voice being gone. Like, like strep throat. Like was none of that. Laryngitis, it was none of that. My voice was just gone. And I was like, man, why is these things... What is it about this thing that is continuing trying to keep me from saying what I gotta say? Okay. So, one night I just told that thing, I said, listen, thing, I don't know who you think you is, but you ain't bigger than me. That's what I told it. I was like, you're not bigger than me. You ain't gonna take me out. Whatever you are, you're not gonna take me out. And then the next day I woke up all fine, and my voice still sounds like this, but this is closest to my normal range. I know it's not 100% yet because I can't sing yet, so I know it's not 100% yet. But, but that thing, which is going to correlate with the messages that the ancestors have, that thing tried to make it appear bigger and a lot worse than what it really was, okay? So everybody that engaged me that, don't know me personally, they was looking at me like I had the vid, and I was like, nah, my voice just gone. I had an event. I got real motivated when I was doing the motivational part of it, and now it's nowhere to be found, and so I had to wait that time out, and a lot of times we don't want to wait, man. We don't want to wait. We don't want to wait it out. We don't want to see where it's going to go. We don't want to have that patience, and that's what your ancestors are wanting you to do. They want you to surrender to patience. I wanted to talk. I wanted to say all the things that I had to say. I felt like I needed to, come on here and say things and give the messages that they was giving me, but they was like, no, when you deliver this message, it's going to be fine. But right now, what you got to do is you got to let that thing rest, and you got to be patient, okay? And so that thing came in, and that thing was, to me, it was a big thing because everything about me is oration. Even with my career and teaching and things like that, I have to be able to speak, right? And so it's like, oh man, I can't speak, I can't teach my kids, and I can't do this right now. But it was temporarily though. And so I just had to be patient, and I had to wait it out. But what was happening was, because this is my thing, like this is the thing that I function off of, it was like, yo, man, this is my livelihood right here, And so because this being my livelihood, it was almost like in my mind, like, oh man, my livelihood is being taken away from me because I'm unable to speak and communicate in the way in which I want. And this prison began to form, and then I was like, nope, I'm not going there. And so your ancestors are wanting you to be patient. Whatever prison, whatever thing that you are formulating because of what you believe should be happening right now, it's not about you, all right? It's not about you. So you may think that things are supposed to be going a certain way, but you are needing to be patient, okay? Your ancestors are wanting me to let you know that when new life forms, when death occurs, new life form. Okay, when death occurs, new life form. We talked about them collard greens and them collard greens dying and not wanting to replant the seed and wait that time out and all of these things. And because don't want to wait that long for the harvest, you don't want to rebuild if you have to rebuild. But let me tell you about the rebuild. The rebuild is amazing. Watching those babies sprout and watching them flourish and reach as far as they can to the sun. Okay, they're just reaching up to the sun, and just a couple days ago they was like this little, just coming out of the dirt, and now they're like reaching up to the sun. All right, and they're trying to reach their highest potential because there's nothing above their head limiting them. There is no fears surrounding their growth. There is no nothing in the way surrounding their growth. There's no cap, there's no ceiling. Okay, and so when old things die, new life forms. And so the Ancestors are saying you got to be willing to let things die. You got to be willing to let things die, even if dying is about you dying. Okay, and when that part of yourself begins to die, and it dies out, and it breaks down. You know what happens when you die? It breaks down and it decomposes, and then it turns back into this organic matter. It could be used for fertilizer. When things die and it breaks down, decomposes, it could be used again for fertilizer. So that's what you are having to do in your situation. That's what this is what you're having to allow to take place in your life. Something has to die, even if it's you, in order for new life to form. That's what they're saying, y'all. There is something that needs to die. It doesn't matter if it's a fear, a person, a situation, a job, a computer, something you gotta let go, your phone giving you trouble, and it gotta go ahead and die. Gotta go ahead and die, so you can create something new from it. All right, but that's what your Ancestors are saying. They're saying that, like, although many of you are in this new ignition of energy, like you feel like you about to take off, like you ready, you on fire, you in this thing of creativity. It's like abundance coming your way, and you know it. You can just feel it down in your soul. They're saying that although some of y'all are like this, others of y'all are afraid of what's ahead, and some of you are right where you were because you don't like to take criticisms. Those criticisms that are coming in, the ones that are for the betterment of you as a person, those criticisms that are coming in, y'all, those are some of the things within you that needs to die. So if it's triggering you to the degree that you're getting upset, you're ready to cut things off, you want to stop dealing with people because of it, that means that there is something within you that is needing a rebirth. Death is upon us, y'all. There's a lot of things that has to die. There's a lot of revamps happening. What you was doing last year and all that other stuff, hey, it's time for a change. It's time for a change. You need to shift. You need to shift focuses. You need to shift in many things. And as long as you're constantly changing, them entities cannot catch up with you. If they catch up with you, you change the course. If they catch up to you, you just change the course. So now they don't know which direction you're going. All right? And your Ancestors are saying, like, some of y'all in denial. There's a lot of snakes around you. You just laying there like, oh, it's not really happening. It's happening. Hey, you know what's up. Don't be in denial. You see all of this deceit and all of this manipulation going on around you. It's time to wake up out of your slumber, because you're just laying there and allowing it to happen. And then when it happens, it's like, how could this person do this to me? Or how could this happen to me? It's happened to you because you closed your eyes. You refused to see what was coming up, what was being presented right before you. When you're doing all your healing work and things like that, and you're doing your rituals, and then after you come out of your ritual, your meditation, and you get that thing, hey, that's your guides and your ancestors. They're like, yo, ping, that's it. You asked me for it. Here it is. And now here it is presenting itself towards you. And you like, no, it can't be true. It is true. You have to understand how to put those boundaries in place, and that's why your ancestors are constantly enforcing boundaries. And they just gave me a picture. They just gave me a picture in my head now. So now y'all know the new collard green babies are growing. Y'all see this ancestor? I need to know who ancestor love these type of things, y'all, because every time, it don't matter what time of the day, morning, they be out here, right? But they just gave me a picture. Okay, so you see the new collard green babies are growing. Right now they're growing in a raised garden. They're growing up in a raised garden, not on the ground, nothing, right? But they don't have any protection over them as of yet. Now, right now, they're in a stage where something might try to eat on them, something may not try to eat on them, right? But there's an uncertainty whether something will try to eat what is providing, or take what is providing, or kill it off, or things like that. And there's one connotation where it might not happen because it's raised. They got all of this different organic matter there, so they're protected from it, and got the right plants in the right place so that insects and things like that won't come and infest the crop and destroy the crop, destroy the new life that's forming. But that's not good enough. You have to put in protections, things that are going to protect that crop, not only from infestations, but things that is beyond their control, i.e. weather. So you have to put your protections around it. So building a little bitty protective cover for the baby crop. Come on. So your ancestors are saying that you see what's going on around you. You see the ones that are in your corner. You see that are the ones that are not in your corner. They pretended that they cheering for you, but they ain't really cheering for you. And every time you reach a major milestone, it's like, oh man, can't believe this person did it again, or if you don't reach the milestone that you intended to make. I told you weren't gonna make it. You need to just, y'all know how I go. You got that positive friend, you got that negative friend. I already know how I go. And so your ancestors are saying, like, do not be in denial. You're gonna have to protect what's yours. And part of protecting what's yours is not being able to say it all the time. Come on. You ain't gotta say it all the time. You ain't gotta speak it all the time. It should just be a knowing, okay? And so that's what your guides and ancestors are wanting you to do when it comes to that denial. You know who your friends are. You know who are not your friends. You know who's rooting for you. You know who's not rooting for you. And that's what your ancestors are. See this one? This one right here? Look. Y'all. Now, these two different types of ancestors right here, this is one that loves the fast cars, and the other one that loves the motorcycles and the trucks and things like that. They coming through, okay? This is just like their little ways of sending those messages that you don't even really be paying attention to as messages, okay? But that's what your ancestors are saying. And so you now have to kind of put some distance between you and that energy. And here's why you have to put distance between you and that energy, because that energy is going to begin to... See, it started off with one little small insect. And then that little insect sends some kind of frequency out to his little other insect buddies. I don't know what they call them, but little other insects in their little colonies and things like that. And once that thing sends their antennas out, now they follow the pheromones. Here you go. They follow the pheromone, they follow the scent, they follow the trail until they get close enough to engage with that frequency. And then next thing you know, you started with one little thing on your garden, and then you got a whole bunch of little things eating the new life. So you can't Your ancestors don't want you doing all of this hard work, going through all this pain, all this turmoil, all these sleepless nights, all of these restless nights, all of these fatigue days, all of these days of detoxing and fasting and working and building and killing off that old self and recognizing the things within you that needs to die. And then when it dies and it breaks down and it decomposes and you trying to use it as a new form of fertilizer, that some kind of little insect call their little crew and infest what you build in that new life and end up destroying the new life. You are creating new life. You have created a new life. The old you is no longer resonant with the new you. So therefore, you have to put whatever protections you have to in place so that nothing can destroy the new life. Now, there may be some that get in and be able to put a hole in the new life, but it would not destroy the whole crop. It would not destroy the root. It would not destroy the root. All old things that are no longer in service to your soul mission has to go. And it's quite difficult, but it takes time. But when that time comes, you're going to know. And so you're feeling fully supported by the universe right now. Many of you are not feeling so supported. But some of you not feeling supported because you allowed that thing to come in. Let your guards down too long. Allow that thing to come in and start nibbling on your new life. But it don't have to stay that way, right? You can still do what you got to do. Put whatever things that you need to put to protect that, and you can move on and begin to grow from the top, growing from where you at. Okay? But that's what your ancestors like. The ancestors like they coming through, Lo. They coming through. Start doing what you gotta do to protect that new life once that old life dies, and keep that integrity. With this new life, y'all, with this new life sacrifice, going to be a lot of sacrifice with this new life, but the sacrifice is going to be worth it. It's not going to be like a long-term sacrifice. It's just like things that you're going to endure, and you already know you're going to endure it. Some of you are already enduring it. But with this new life, it's going to require sacrifice. It's going to require a lot of old things dying in order for new things to sprout. And even when one season kills and destroys the old things that existed there, the springtime harvest, right? Even when that new season transit comes in and begins to kill off the old things, new things grow in the place of it. Y'all see? So you're never without. There's always going to be a harvest season. There's always going to be a growing season. There's always going to be a season of tending. You know, that's that season of tending to the things that needs to be that needs to grow. That season is that downtime. That's your period of study. That's when Source is working on you. Okay, and when Source is working on you and giving you all this new innovation and all that other stuff, you ain't got no choice but to sit down somewhere. You ain't got no choice but to sit down somewhere and let your ancestors, let your God, let the Creator, let them work on you. You gotta be patient. Something forming in your belly. All this new stuff forming in your belly. You just gotta be patient though, because in the right time, in the right time, guess what's gonna happen? Something is going to birth, and it's going to materialize, and it's going to be your baby, and you're going to nurture it, and then it's going to bring about balance and harmony. And I'm seeing earth like all in front of me. So earth, right, going to be grounded, and the universe is going to support it all. You're going to have the support of everything with this baby. That whole village going to come together to raise that baby. That whole village gonna come together to raise that baby. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this message. Hey, I have started my Patreon. Well, I've been having my Patreon, but it's really picking up. We're filtering a lot of things over to Patreon. We're moving a lot of things over to the website. but still will be here on this platform as well. But we're just moving and transitioning. So a lot of the conversations that we're having, a lot of the read-alongs that we're doing, a lot of the different meditations that we're doing, a lot of the different guest speakers that are coming over to the healing program and speaking to you guys and things like that will be on Patreon, okay? So if you guys are interested in being on Patreon, all the information is going to be in the description below. Also, my books are back open to work. So all of that information be in the description below. And if you just want to join a support group or join the chit chats and things like that, all of that information is in the description below. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll holla at y'all.